Good morning. Welcome to this chapel on this cold but sunny Friday, last day before break. We've made it this far. We are so glad that you are here today in person, and whoever may be joining us online today, know that you are always welcome here, whoever you are, whoever you know yourself to be, whoever you are becoming. For chapel today, all you need is a hymn handout available from the top of the hymn rack there. Feel free to grab one if you need one. A few announcements as we begin today. First of all, you will notice that I am sporting rival gear today. Back in January, Luther College Ministries and Wartburg College Ministries teamed up for a food drive competition, both to benefit our on-campus food pantries and our community food pantries. The deal was the losing institution, the losing pastor had to rep the other school in chapel. As it turned out, we came out in really not an orchestrated tie, but it came out really, really close. We got a lot of food, they got more money than we did, we got money, they got food. All said and done, we declared it a tie because we had no good way of trying to count everything. Total, both schools, we collected more than 600 pounds of food, more than $2,000. Halcyon and I agreed that we would rep each other and it would be great. So Halcyon sported Luther gear at chapel at Wartburg on Wednesday, and I get to reciprocate today. Two events coming up that I want to highlight. There are signs for both of them on top of the hymn rack. Coming up the Thursday after spring break, March 30th, at 6:30 p.m., we are gathering a group of students together, anybody who finds themselves in deconstruct territory, whatever that means to you, whether it means that you have new questions about your faith, whether you have some new kind of curiosities or issues brought up by stuff you're learning, whether you're in a place of just rethinking your faith and your worldview. We want to offer some space for you to connect with one another about that. So March 30th, 6:30 p.m. upstairs here in the CFL. We'll be gathering a group together. Hopefully there will be repeat gatherings of this group, but if you find yourself in that space, know that you are welcome, and we would love to kind of hold space for you in that. So March 30th, 6:30 p.m. Then the following week after that, which we get into Holy Week, we are hosting a Holy Week dinner worship Tuesday, April 4th at 6 p.m. in Peace Dining Room. It's an opportunity to walk through the movements of Holy Week together over a shared meal. All are welcome to that. We just ask that you RSVP to us by March 29th so that we can get a good count for food. Again, watch all of the various social media channels and other places that you get info about college ministries for more details, but know that those two things are happening pretty quickly on the far side of spring break. Today we continue with our spring chapel theme, which is seeking, asking honest questions. Today we are excited to welcome Shelley Hurst, another superstar from our development office, as our chapel speaker, and we are excited again to welcome organist Jean-Baptiste, organist of the Royal Chapel at the Palace of Versailles, as he finishes his Luther residency this week. He's also the composer of the musical Reflection we'll hear later, played by cellist Maddie Snyder. It's a lovely morning to be in chapel. Thank you all for sharing your gifts today. As you begin, I invite you to stand as you are comfortable and able. And whether you are sitting or standing, I invite you to take note of the ground beneath your feet as it supports you. I invite you to roll your shoulders out, to shake out your hands, to relax your body, to receive permission to release whatever it is you've carried into this space, and to take a few deep centering breaths. We gather together, the seekers, the dreamers, the wishers, in hopes of seeing God. We gather together, the curious, the hungry, the loving, the lonely, in hopes of finding peace. We gather together those who are thirsty and those with water to spare, in hopes of finding justice. We gather together the broken, the beautiful, the queer, the questioning, in hopes of being seen, being known, being loved without question. Here, may you find what you are looking for. Our opening hymn is on your hymn insert, Faith Begins by Letting Go.
Good morning. My name is Shelley Hurst. I'm the Development Office Coordinator in Loyalty Hall, and I joined Luther as a staff member in July of 2022. And I apologize, I was late. I was answering a phone call, so I'm questioning whether I should have done that, so sorry about that. When I heard the theme of the chapel talk for this month is questioning, I was intrigued. You have your standard 5 W's and the H, who, what, where, when, why, and how, but it feels like the question of what if makes one deeply reflect on their past and also how to intentionally determine one's future. One of my central what if moments came in high school when I broke my ankle at a soccer camp during the summer between freshman and sophomore year. 1 minute you're exercising, and the next it feels like everything comes crashing down. A significant part of my identity at the time was being an athlete and being part of a team, whether it be cross country, soccer, or basketball. Looking back, this is but a blip on the radar of my adolescence, but at the time, for that 15-year-old girl, everything felt off for quite a long while. The fall semester of sophomore year felt like the black stain on my high school experience. Once I was sidelined from sports, I couldn't release stress by running or practicing. My mom and I started fighting a lot more during that time, and I felt isolated from my friends on the cross-country team. The coach asked if I would come to a meet and take splits for the runners, and as much as I wanted to help, it killed me a little inside as I thought I should be out there too and questioned why the heck did this happen. On occasion over the years, I've played the what if game about that moment at the soccer camp. What if I hadn't marked that girl in the drill? What if I had been a little less aggressive on that particular play? Then likely I wouldn't have broken my ankle and began the school year continue being a varsity cross-country team member. My mom and I wouldn't have had a strained relationship during that time frame, and I wouldn't have had to experience feeling like the supporting role in my own life versus the leading character with a strong locus of control. Looking back years later, I realized that if I can get through that very rough emotional time in my life, I can get through just about anything. And the bottom line is that I can't change it, and it did happen for a reason. One of my favorite movies is The Family Man, a Christmas movie from 2000. Has anybody seen this movie? Great movie. Okay. So without giving too much away, the male lead character, Jack Campbell, gets a glimpse of what his life would have been like had he married his college sweetheart and built a life in the suburbs with their 2 children versus his current life as a single Wall Street banker. Kate Reynolds, the lead female character, says to Jack at dinner during their glimpse of their time together, "You know, I wonder about it too. What my life would have been like had I not married you. But then I erase all the things I'm sure about." And I just love that quote. At the beginning of this academic year, Provost Brad Chamberlain, who used to be a chemistry professor, I just learned that this morning, challenged faculty and staff to run the experiment. I'm thankful to be part of an institution and member of a professional community that is embracing this philosophy. In my experience, this isn't just lip service, but something I've recently put into practice. A few weeks ago, I asked my supervisor, Mary, about updating the format of a meeting I lead amongst a few colleagues in our area. I proposed meeting in person less often, but still having the online collaboration across the different units under her purview, basically. Like an intelligent supervisor would, Mary since she doesn't attend the meeting, she had said she needed to learn more about the meeting and its purpose, etc. However, the last part of my pitch to update the format was, "I'd like to run the experiment." And a grin appeared across Mary's face, and she immediately replied, "Indeed, you must." So onward we go. A different type of what if is questioning what will happen in the future. The jury's still out on whether this was the right choice to update the meeting format, but I'm thankful we support each other to at least try different things to achieve different results. I know we're taught with any major decision to ask ourselves, what is the absolute worst thing that can happen? This often puts things in perspective that takes our stress level down. I'm now starting to think that major decisions should always be a 2-part question that includes the former and also asking, what's the best outcome of this choice, in order to remind ourselves why we are brave enough to question things and the desire to make change in the first place. Thank you.
Go now in peace. Find the Spirit in the what ifs. Thanks be to God.